the Low Carb Football Party NFL Draft Edition. Starring Brian from Wick Carnivore. Starring Greg from My Weight Loss Life. Tonight, we'll bring you the NFL Draft Live. And also, we will talk about kicking off a low-carb diet. Grab a drink and pull up a chair. It's showtime. Hey, Brian. How's it going, buddy? It's been a while.
Yes, it has. I'm doing great. How are you doing?
Hey, I can't be better, to be honest. You know, it's not football season, but this is like the next best thing. With having the NFL draft tonight, should be a lot of fun. I always look forward to this. There's always a lot of hype and anticipation, and then nothing turns out like you think it will.
Yep.
We just want to welcome our viewers today, and man, smash that like button for us if you could to get it out there to the channel. It'd be greatly appreciated. And welcome to the show tonight. Should be a good show. We're gonna talk football quite a bit, the draft, obviously, and we're also gonna talk about kicking off a low carb diet tonight. We're going to talk about that a little bit later. We're going to probably talk a little bit about football here since the draft will be starting in a few minutes here. But that leads me to my question, Brian. What's your Detroit Lions going to do tonight?
Well, I don't know. I mean, they're picking really late in the first round. Was it 29th? I think it is 28th, 29th. I think it's 29th. So I really don't know what they are going to do. I think it's going to be defense, and I'm hoping it's defensive back, secondary, something there, because that's where they need the most help. But I don't know. I mean, they like to take who they believe is the best available, and they've done really well in the last couple years in the draft. So, you know, if they can get some kind of sleeper late in the first round that ends up playing like a mid first round player, that'll be great for him, I think.
Yeah, I think, are they like the 29th pick? Is that right?
I think it's 29. Yeah, I think it's 29th.
Yep. That's it's just hard to say. You know, it's at that position, it's almost like you got to just draft the best available player, and hopefully it's somebody that you need on your team to help you out. There should be plenty of good players, though, especially with it being a deep quarterback draft. I think you're going to see a lot of great players late in the first round available. So it'll be interesting to see if teams trade into the first round at the very end. Sometimes teams make a push for that to try and get another quality blue chip player. And it'll be kind of fun to see if that happens tonight.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to the Vikings to see what they're going to do. It'll be interesting. I know there's been a lot of rumors around them because they own 2 number 1 picks. And I don't know. I've heard that they want to keep their number 23 pick, and I think is the other pick 11. Is that right?
Yeah, it's 11th. Yep.
They may, if they're going to move up on the 11 spot, I'm hoping they take somebody from next year's draft, or a pick from next year and trade it. I'd really like to see them keep the 2 number 1 picks this year. And honestly, I feel they could stay right where they are, and a quarterback will fall to them. So I think their value would be better off keeping their picks even for next year, and let the players fall to them. It'll be interesting to see how that plays out. But there's been a lot of rumor that they're going to trade up and go from there. So I was just looking to see if the Bears are on the clock yet. Are they showing on the clock for you yet? I know you're watching on ESPN. I'm watching on NFL Network. We're going to see which one comes up with the picks first, but I'm not seeing
ESPN's at a commercial break right now.
Okay, so, yeah, they are on the network too.
They got to make some money here, so they're doing.
Oh yeah, definitely. So Brian, what have you been up to, man? How's things been going for you? I know it's been since like February since we did a show together. So just wondering what's going on in your life. Yeah, it's been a while.
I'm still just plugging away doing the same thing here with YouTube. I've been doing about usually 2 to 3 videos a week if I can. And yeah, just, in terms of my personal life, I've got two daughters that are in college, and they're going to be back here soon. Like one's coming back next week, and the other one I think is actually later in the week. So I'm going to have both of them back. So I'm going to have all three kids back home again for the summer. So it's going to be a full house. It's going to be interesting. You know,
It's an adjustment having them all at home, but it is nice having them all under one roof again.
yeah. Like I'm not used to a lot of noise right now, so it'll be interesting that we have a full house and everything. But so yeah, I'm gonna have that coming up here, and it'll be interesting to see how things go. My oldest daughter is gonna be a senior next fall in college, so she's, you know, getting to the end point here where she might be living on her own after college. So this could be the last summer. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, it's that kind of stuff's going on. So what's been going on for you?
Oh man, it's I totally get the comments about having the kids at home. I've got my son will be coming home for the summer. He's doing an internship here at a nearby lake because he's going to do some stuff for the DNR, and he'll be home this summer. But it's probably the last summer we'll have any kids at home. So we'll enjoy that time. Hopefully, I'll get out and do some fishing with them. Obviously, my two daughters are both getting married this year, and they live in Omaha. So a July wedding and an October wedding is coming up. Actually, this weekend, my oldest daughter, who's getting married in July, they're having a bridal shower for her on Saturday. So all the family will be home this weekend. They're going to be doing that. So that's been going on. And then, as some of you that are following know, that my mom recently passed away here. Oh, it'll be a month ago tomorrow, I believe. The 22nd of March is when she passed away. So it's been over a month. It just calendar wise, it's only been a month, but yeah, so that's been, kind of occupying some of my time, just kind of finishing up anything that I needed to do with that, and just going through stuff, and I guess kind of grieving, I guess you could say too, just kind of, there's just so many different things going on. So been doing that. I have not put out many videos, and I have not been that great on my weight loss plan. I got to be honest. I just have not been focused like I have been in the past. Hope to change that very soon, though. It's important to me. And I think one of the things, I'm not making excuses, is just I've had so many things going on. It's just been hard to focus. So, wow, I'm looking at that crowd. They keep showing the crowd there in Detroit where the draft is, and they're just blue everywhere. So,
Yeah, it is.
pretty awesome. I think I heard there was like over 100,000 people there. That's what they were saying earlier. So, I think it was free to get in, which is pretty cool. But I know they're getting ready to do the first. I don't know. I suppose they're going to get the clock started.
Yeah, it looks like they're getting ready to start.
That's Marshall Mathers.
Yeah.
He's getting them all pumped up, the crowd, getting them ready to go. He looks intense. Yeah, it should be a good night for the draft. Hey, if you're out there, go ahead and put where you're from. We'd love to see that in the comments as people trickle in here. And we like to always know where you're watching from.
Yeah, this is just like the perfect year for it to be in Detroit, right? Because, you know, they're building up. They had such a great year. Probably, really, I mean, they did better than my expectations, making it all the way to the NFC
I think
Championship
I
game.
believed in him more than you did.
Yeah, exactly. And you know, like there's so many people are really excited in Detroit right now. So this is like the perfect year to have the draft in Detroit.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not. It looks like they have quite a few Detroit players up on the stage.
I saw Barry Sanders there.
Yep, Hutchinson was up there too.
Yeah. Goff is up there.
Yep, Jared Goff's on stage, getting ready to get things kicked off here. Yeah, you got to kind of be excited about Detroit coming up this fall. they did a lot of great things, and I think they're going to continue to improve. That NFC North is going to be very competitive, I think, because the Packers ended up being a lot better.
Mm,
And obviously, I think the Vikings will be pretty competitive. And then the Lions, Chicago, they got a couple early first round picks here. So, all of a sudden they may not be too bad either. So you just never
yeah.
know. It's going to be competitive, I think.
Yep. So I wonder how far off we are. On mine, Barry Sanders just finished talking. Is that where you're at, or are you
Roger
ahead of me?
Goodell's talking. I think I'm ahead of you.
You're probably way ahead of me then.
Maybe you should.
Sometimes I've noticed my TV is like 30 seconds behind. Even another TV, like the TV upstairs or something, and I don't understand. I guess because it's a different smart TV, different kind, but
Oh, I found that it depends how old the TV is, will make a difference on it processing everything. But like I have Amazon Fire Sticks on mine, and I think that really helps, especially if it's an older
yeah.
TV, it processes it for it. So
So yeah, the one upstairs is Fire Stick, and then the one that I got down here is Roku, and the Fire Stick is always like 30 seconds ahead of the Roku.
yep, round pick or pick one is 9:46 away. So
I
they started the clock.
Yeah, so it hasn't even started yet on mine. It says 10 minutes. Oh, there you go. It just started.
So, and it says
So
35,
that's
so
how
about
far.
25 seconds ahead of you.
Yeah, geez.
I get to spill the beans all night.
Yeah, I guess so. Oh.
Well, you think they're going to take Caleb Williams here? I'm
Oh
assuming.
yeah. I mean, they got to be. Like they traded Fields I'm positive they're gonna take him. I'd be completely shocked if they did not take Caleb Williams.
He's a great athlete and stuff, but I question whether his work ethic will be there to be great. Um,
I don't know if he's gonna make it in the NFL or not. I
I don't
mean, I
know.
know everybody thinks he's going to, but and I mean, he might just not be ready right away even and still be okay in a couple years, but just not right away. It's really tough to start in the NFL as a quarterback right away, like CJ
Yeah.
Stroud did this past year.
Yeah.
Look at Bryce Young. He had a rough year.
Yeah.
That's typical for quarterbacks. So I think it's asking a lot to take Caleb Williams number one and expect him to start right away.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. You wonder how much the NIL is gonna have these athletes. They're already starting to make good money in college, especially the quarterbacks. And it's kind of like you wonder how much that's going to affect their game. Meaning, are they continue to drive hard, or now that they get a little fame and fortune going, that maybe the drive isn't there to be as great.
Mm,
I'm sure for some that could be the case, others not. But it makes you wonder how much it's going to affect them in the pros.
yeah. Yep.
Just for those of you just joining us, go ahead and smash the like button, and go ahead and put in the comments where you're from. We'd love to see that. And our topic tonight we'll talk about a little bit later. We're talking a little more football right now since the draft is just getting going, but kicking off a low carb diet is our topic of the night. So just wanted to make you aware of that. We will hit on that in a little while here, but me and Brian are just kind of catching up and talking a little football and just getting excited about the picks. So as far as my
I
Vikings
got
go,
this too
yeah, that's
for
right.
those Washington Commanders fans out there that still like the Redskins. Here you go. Here's the Redskins authentic helmet right here on the table next to me.
I like that.
So
That's cool.
they're picking what, second, I think, right?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
who do you think they're taking?
Oh, they're taking a quarterback.
Yeah.
I guess it just depends
I keep
on
hearing
who,
Daniels
right?
thrown around a lot for them.
I
Uh,
think I think if he's available, which I expect him to be, I think they will pick him, but we'll see. I mean, there's some other good options out there too, but
to me, he's fast. He's a pretty good passer, but to me, he's a little light. You wonder how much of a pounding he can take because he's not. He's really kind of skinny and tall, but he's not really that big. So you question, will he be able to take the hits?
Yeah. So I got to ask you, this is something that always gets me. Chicago's picking first. They have 10 minutes on the clock, but they've been on the clock for like months, at least a couple months here, right? They know who they're picking. Why are they taking the full 10 minutes? And this happens every year.
Yeah,
Why?
I see the GMs talking to the guy. I'm not a big fan of that GM. The Vikings thought about it, but I remember him saying that if they didn't win that division that year, he was going to resign, and they didn't win the division, and he's still there. So I'm guessing. I think they're being patient with him, but he hasn't really done that well as their GM the last 3 years.
Yeah. Well, if I remember correctly, when they traded Justin Fields here this offseason, they didn't get much for him.
No,
That was
it was
like
like
a
a
wasted
6th-round
pick.
pick or something. Yeah. I've just got 5:13 left on the clock, so the pick ought to be coming pretty soon. And I seen the GM was talking to somebody on the phone, so I'm sure we'll find out here soon. So what's everybody doing tonight? Go ahead and share anything you want in the comments. We like to see what everybody's up to. Let us know who your favorite teams are. We want this to be a little interactive.
So I noticed you were just drinking something. What are you drinking?
This is Amino Energy. It's just got some natural caffeine in it. I think there's like 1 gram of carb in it, but I thought, it's a long 3-hour draft, so like I better have a little caffeine to get me through the night. I think the pick must be turned in. Yep, the pick is in.
Oh, so I'm still seeing the countdown. That's how far behind I am.
The one guy's best available has Williams at QB number 1. Harrison is the second best pick, the receiver. That's what his best available is. I'm kind of surprised on that. But, I mean, he's a good receiver, but teams are going to draft what they need.
I mean, whoever gets Marvin Harrison, he's going to be insane. There's just no question about it.
Yeah, he'll be good.
But it probably wouldn't be good to go to a place that doesn't already have a quarterback. So that would be frustrating for a great wide receiver like that.
Oh, yeah. Yep. That would be tough.
So Chicago only spent 6 of the 10 minutes. They proved me wrong that, about talking about they always take 10 minutes. But still, I mean, they could have had that thing in there as soon as the clock started.
Oh, yeah.
They know who they're picking.
It'll be interesting to see what I think it'll start getting exciting when Washington comes up because you just don't know if there's going to be a bunch of trades. Yeah. That'll be the interesting thing. Do you think we'll see some trades in the first 10 picks of the draft? What do you think, Brian?
We could. Arizona is always a team that sometimes trades, sometimes, puts themselves out of potential to get somebody really good and just does a stupid trade.
Oh, here comes
Sorry, Arizona fans, but that seems to happen.
The Bears select Caleb Williams is the number 1 pick in the draft. No surprise.
There you go. I'm still waiting for it to happen here.
You should flip it over to the other channel and see if
Goodell just walked up. No, I'm pretty sure it's because it's on Roku, but yeah, there we go. Caleb Williams.
You're about 25 seconds behind me. You might have to turn your phone on to the draft tracker. You'll get a quicker result.
That's okay. I'll just rely on you telling me who
I can always just shut up too.
Oh.
Yeah, looks like he's pretty excited about going to the Bears. I don't think I would be, but I'm a Viking fan, though. What do you expect, right?
Well, I mean, maybe Chicago has something up their sleeves here. I don't know. They do have a couple wide receivers they brought in, I think, but maybe
Mhm.
they're going to make a trade here too and go after Marvin Harrison and give him
Don't
some
they?
real weapons. That'd be
I was gonna say, is
crazy.
their second pick in like the mid round, like 15 or somewhere in there?
I think it's somewhere in there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, they're let's see, pick 9
Is it
is the
pick 9?
Bears.
See if they can move up to like 4, maybe they might be able to get Harrison. I don't think they can get him at 9. Hmm.
Well, that'll be interesting. You knew that was going to happen. We'll see if
Oh,
what kind of a season he has, I guess.
Washington's on the clock. How can
Yep.
I hold this up here? Can I put this on? Like not with the headset. My head's too big as well for this thing, I think.
How long have you had that helmet?
Um, so I've had it for probably 5 years. But like so it's like the replica thing. I
Oh,
don't know if you
sure.
can see, so you can't really put it on.
Right.
But it's mostly been sitting in a box, and I'm still working on this man cave thing because just time gets you and whatever. So I haven't really decorated. As you can see, the back wall is just completely blank. Um, so yeah, it's just kind of sitting on this table here, and got to figure out somewhere to put it. I got some other stuff that I'm going to put out, you know, some other autograph stuff, and then like some posters, that kind of stuff. So gonna make it nice in here.
I got a whole bunch of Viking autographs. I've got Randy Moss and Chris Carter on one 8 by
Mm,
10, and they both signed it.
that's
I hear
nice.
it's sitting in a box. So the Washington Commanders are on the clock. Do you know that there's somebody soon
Oh,
to try and get the Redskins name back? That one of the Indian
yeah, I
tribes.
I saw that.
Yeah, because their
Yeah,
chief is on it, I guess.
yeah.
So that'll
This
be
chief,
interesting. Yep.
this chief right here. Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, I mean, if they do, then hey, I've got the helmet, so I'm
Yeah.
I'm all set. If they go back to Redskins, I know most fans out here because I live in Northern Virginia. Most fans out here really wanted them to stay the Redskins, and
Yeah.
really, I mean, I know people that I talk to, and they won't even call them the Commanders; they still call them the Redskins.
Yeah. I still do pretty much. I mean, it's what I'm used to. It's been that way for years.
Mitch Trubisky was a second overall pick. Did I
Yeah,
read
they
that right?
traded up and grabbed them. Yep. Yeah,
Wow.
Chicago's had some bad drafts. I mean, yep.
I
Yeah,
still
and that
feel
was the
like,
year Patrick Mahomes got drafted.
yeah.
And it was later.
I still feel that Justin Fields, they gave up on him too early. Like that was what, 3 years ago, I think it showed that he was
Yeah.
drafted
He had nobody
11th
around him.
overall.
But
Yeah, I don't know, but even in Pittsburgh, right now he's the number 2 guy behind what's his name? Russell Wilson, right?
yeah. Yeah.
Um
They did not renew his 5th-year option either, by the way.
yeah, I saw
So I don't
that.
know if they didn't like his workouts or I don't know what the deal is. I was kind of surprised by that. So,
Yeah, I don't know.
but at the same time, it was like $28 million contract if they renewed it. So maybe they didn't want to put that kind of money if he wasn't going to be the starter.
Maybe.
So
I mean, I know when they played the Lions that one game, he looked awfully good. That's all
yeah.
I know. He ran
Yeah, he
for
didn't have
a
a
bunch
lot
of
of talent
yards.
around him in Chicago. I know that. So but
See,
it's
Washington's.
other than the one quarterback this last year for was it Carolina that which quarterbacks was out of Ohio State this year that was really good as a
CJ
rookie?
Stroud for Houston Texans.
Other
Yeah.
than him, though, a lot of quarterbacks out of Ohio State really don't do very well. I think it's
Yeah.
just because at Ohio State they were surrounded by so much talent, they don't have to be that good.
Yeah.
The pick is in for the Washington Redskins.
All right.
I mean the
Who you go?
Commanders.
Who you going with? I'm gonna say Jaden Daniels, but we'll see.
I'm
Who
going
do
to
you
say
go with?
Jaden Daniels too.
And my second upset pick would be Marvin Harrison, but I think they gotta have a quarterback. I think they're going Jaden Daniels. I'm gonna hold this up for now. I don't know why, but I am until the pick comes in. Till you tell me the pick is in because I
I should
can't
have got
see
all my
it.
banner. I got a bunch of banners. I should have got them all up, then I could just hold them up when it's the team's pick.
I wish I had like something where I could just hold this up like on the table, but
Well,
I'm horrible at this too, as you
it
can see.
almost fit on
I put it right here. That works good.
the banister rail over your right shoulder. It would sit on the end of that almost.
Yeah, I could. Oh, here we go. Is the pick in yet?
Yeah, they said it's in, and nobody's up there yet.
Okay.
There's quite a few people
It
wearing
does
red.
say pick is in on my TV now too, so that's good.
Yeah, there's already 8:47 on the clock for the Patriots.
9:05.
We'll see if they're going to trade the
9:04.
pick.
You think the Patriots are going to trade the pick?
I don't know. We'll see. I hope not. My guess is if New England does get the pick, they'll probably pick Drake May. Would be my guess.
Yeah, didn't they trade their quarterback?
Yeah, they don't. Oh, here's
so
the second.
Do they
pick.
have a quarterback right now?
Jaden Daniels is the pick.
Jaden Daniels. There you go.
Yep, we called it.
Goodell is just walking out to the stage on my TV, but hey, we'll say it's Jaden Daniels.
Sorry, Brian.
That's okay.
So New England Patriots are on the clock. So
there
Brian,
you go, Jaden Daniels.
So who do you think New England's going to take? I kind of think they're going to take Drake May if they don't trade the pick. But what do you think?
I mean, May's a good option. Yeah,
Belichick, he's not there anymore. So
no, he's not.
Offensive.
I hate to say JJ McCarthy, but I don't think JJ McCarthy is going to be as good of a quarterback as some people think, at least not right away. I think he's going to need time. So I think that I don't think he should be drafted this early, but some people are saying he could get drafted early, like top 5, top 10. So
he kind of reminds me of Kirk Cousins a little bit. He's not real mobile, but yet he's pretty accurate passing the ball.
Yeah. I think you're probably right. I think May is probably a good option here for New England. What's interesting is, it seems like every year there's like an offensive lineman or a defensive lineman right at the top, like in the first 2 or 3 picks, and we're not really saying anything about that. Now, we could be wrong, and somebody might get picked right here because it's New England. Who knows? But I can't think of who it would be in the top
I don't
3.
think the quarterback in New England, who he's now a backup at Jacksonville, I can't think of his name because they traded him, but I don't think he really. What's that?
Mac Jones?
Yeah, I don't know if he really had that much of a fair shake at New England either. So, and that's what I'm thinking of, like Sam Darnold, for instance, for the Vikings. They signed him from San Francisco, and it's like, sometimes it takes 5 years for a quarterback to finally get it in the NFL. So I'm kind of hoping that, maybe I'm just saying that Vikings are going to probably draft a quarterback, but with Sam Darnold, he may come out there and play really well this year because he's finally getting it and understanding it. So I think sometimes teams do give up on their quarterbacks too quick, especially if they don't have the talent around them. And I think you're seeing some of that,
Yeah. Yep.
Brian, I'm going to slip out here a second. I'll be right back.
Okay. So, of course, he leaves the guy in charge that's 25 seconds behind everybody. So I can't even tell you what's going to happen in the draft here because I'm going to be way behind everybody. So I guess while he's out, we will just talk about low carb. Why not? Right? So low carb, I think everybody probably knows that since I'm Wick Carnivore that I've been doing Carnivore, and I'm actually coming up to 22 months here within the next couple of days. I'll be at 22 months on the Carnivore diet, And something that's kind of changed for me in the last couple of months here, or last few weeks, at least maybe 3, 4 weeks, is that I've noticed I seem to finally be past those carb and sugar cravings. Um, for the longest time, like I'd go 5, 6 days in a row and I would be doing well. And then I'd have something that I shouldn't, some kind of carb. And that hasn't happened for me lately. I was just trying to fill time and just talking about my experiences here lately. So I didn't know
Hey,
how long it's going to take for you to come back.
no, that's fine. I was just gonna say real quick, the New England Patriots pick is in, so they did not trade it.
Okay.
So that will be interesting to see what happens. But yeah, no, if you have something else you want to say about your your diet and what you're doing, go
Yeah,
ahead.
well, interrupt me if the pick actually comes in because I won't know for like 30 seconds anyway. But just saying that, it's okay, my lights just flickered. That was scary. Um, it's just one of those things where it, it's like things have just kind of clicked, and I've gone out to dinner with my wife and a couple other people a few times and not been tempted at all. That they come and they bring, like in some places you have to get sides that just don't make sense. Like I've gone to Texas Roadhouse and I can get, like, I'll do like the cheese and egg for the salad and just get the egg and cheese and eat that as like a side, right? Or like get like a loaded baked potato with just the butter, sour cream, and bacon or something like that, right? But other places they don't really have good options, so I'll just like order a side and give it to somebody else. Um, but sometimes in the past I'd be like, well, maybe I'll end up eating that side, and I have not been tempted at all. It's been great, and I it's funny because for the longest time I've heard people talk about, like, yeah, once you get there, you just don't crave it anymore. And they're like, it could be a couple months, whatever. And I'm like almost 2 years, and it taken me that long to get to it. So that just shows, I guess, the difference where some people, um, some
Pick is
people can
in.
get there really quick. Oh, I'll let you do the pick since I have no idea.
Drake May
There you
is
go. This is, I mean, I should have been doing something this year for the NFL because I think I'm 3 for 3 or 2 for 2.
now
Three for three, right?
Arizona's the next pick, and I don't know if they had that pick. I kind of was trying to listen to you and listen to them here. I'm not sure if that's a trade. I don't
No,
know.
Arizona had the fourth pick. They did
Okay,
have the fourth pick.
what do they need? What do you think? I think Harrison Jr. makes sense here,
I
probably.
think it could. The interesting thing is I heard that they're actually looking for a quarterback, but maybe they're thinking later, maybe,
Yeah,
because I think Marvin Harrison makes a lot of sense. I've also heard that they could possibly trade, and I don't know why, because they're not very good. They need really good players.
yeah.
So I could definitely see Marvin Harrison Jr. going right here.
Well, that's an interesting pick. I kind of liked him. I would have liked to seen him in purple. But for the Vikings, but it is what it is. I knew they weren't probably going to trade up to get him. I think the price tag was probably too much. That tells me the Vikings are probably staying put because I think New England was one of the trade partners that was big rumored a lot. It'll be interesting to see what the Giants do at quarterback as well. Because I think they're one, they still have their quarterback, but I kind of think they want to maybe make some changes.
Mm-hmm.
But they're coming up in a couple picks too. But
Yeah. So something else I didn't bring up, but haven't brought up yet, but I'm going to bring up now. Back when we were doing the low carb football party last fall, I mentioned several different times I went to the University of Toledo, so I talked about Toledo football and so forth. They have somebody that is expected to be drafted in the first round. Quinyon Mitchell, defensive back. I think
wow.
he was, I think he was only 3 years at Toledo. I know he left early, so it was 2 or 3 years, whatever. Well, playing time, I should say. Obviously, it was at least 3 years. And so he did really well in the
Combine.
combine, and there's some talk that he could potentially be the first defensive back taken in the draft. So we'll have to see. But he's there in person tonight, and expected to go in the first round.
Well,
Funny
that's
thing about
exciting.
Toledo, the last time they had somebody in the first round was going way back. This was like 1990 or something like that. And they had the 11th overall pick. He was a defensive tackle. So it'd be interesting to see if they, where Mitchell goes, and if he goes higher than 11, I don't know. But I think I've seen projections anywhere from like 10 to like 20, somewhere in there. So we'll see where he goes.
Yeah. It's going to be, I thought we would have seen a trade by now, maybe, but we'll see here. Maybe late in the first 10 picks, but I'm glad the Vikings haven't moved up. I wanted them to stay put. So knowing the Vikings, they'll probably pick a defensive player with that 11th pick. They might. I mean, if players fall and maybe they're happy with Sam Darnold for a little while, I don't know. I mean, it's not possible.
Well, with Derek May now gone, Jaden Daniels and Caleb Williams, if JJ McCarthy's available at 11, do they go with him?
I've heard a lot of rumors that they like him, so that could very well be. But we'll see. I mean, I could see another team trying to sneak in there, maybe Las Vegas. I know there was a lot of talk of that they wanted to move up and get a quarterback too. So
did you hear the rumors about the Chargers with Harbaugh? He was at Michigan last year. There's rumors that he's considering trading Herbert to move up to get McCarthy.
I think that's a mistake. I think Herbert's a pretty good quarterback.
I do too. I think he's done well there.
Once again, he hasn't had a lot of ton of talent around him either, but yet he's still,
right.
They could be a lot better. They had bad coaching there for a couple of years, so I think, but the pick is in.
Okay. We'll see if I can be 4 for 4. I'm saying
they're walking up to the stage yet, but the pick is turned in. That means there wasn't a trade.
Yeah.
I think after this pick, Brian, we can talk a little bit about kicking off a low carb diet. I think that'd be a good opportunity to do that once this pick comes in. For those of you that are waiting for that topic, we're going to get to it real soon. And I need to kick off a low carb diet.
I see the Chargers have the number 5 pick. Has that been all along, or did they just move up?
No, that's been there. It's been there.
Okay. Well, it'll be interesting to see if the Cardinals do not pick JJ McCarthy, if the Chargers take him 5th overall.
Marvin Harrison Jr. is picked by the Cardinals. We called it again.
I'm 4 for 4. I've never been 4 for 4 to start a draft. I'm just saying.
So who's the Chargers going to take now that they're on the clock?
I don't think they should, but I think they
probably need a receiver. They probably needed a receiver since they lost.
I think they do, but
they lost Mike.
I mean, they could take what's that guy from LSU, Malik Neighbors.
Yeah, I think so.
But I got this weird feeling because of Harbaugh, they're gonna take JJ McCarthy, and I think it's too early.
If they did that, the Vikings should trade for Herbert, give them their number 11 pick for him.
As a Lions fan, I don't want that to happen, but yeah.
I think he'd command more than a 1 pick, though. Number 1 pick.
I don't know. I mean,
maybe they'd want to trade and get their 23rd and get 3 number 1 picks.
It depends on how much weight Harbaugh has going on here in this. I don't know. All right. So should we do the low carb kickoff thing?
Yeah, we can do that. Let's put that topic up there. Whoops, I had it up there. Okay, our topic tonight is kicking off a low carb diet. And what do we mean by that? And I think it's one of those things. How do you start a low carb diet, or why, or what would make sense for somebody to do that? Brian, I think I'll let you start with this piece, and then I can add my 2 cents with it. But what are your thoughts on that?
All right. Well, I think the first thing is that most of the time what you find with people going to a low carb diet is because they have some kind of an issue that they are looking to fix, whether it's some sort of health ailment or they are just really overweight and struggling to find a way to lose weight. They've tried other diets that haven't worked. And like for me, it was kind of both of those things, right? But I think that that's the first thing is that you see people usually if they're going to low carb, it's not that they're healthy and they feel great already. In most cases, it's that they're looking for something, and because let's face it, right now, low carb is not something that is being marketed to the masses, right? Like there there's still a lot of doctors out there that don't really think that it's necessarily a good idea. And I mean, I've lost like 85 pounds or whatever, and I've gotten rid of so many different health issues. I haven't had an AFib episode in almost 2 years. Um, Arthritis, joint pain, um, just brain fog, mild depression, lowered my blood pressure, all those different things, right? And still, like, my doctor's like, I don't know about low carb. And I'm like, you see like what I've done, like, all this stuff. And so that's like the thing, right? Like it's not mainstream. So most people I think are going there because they're looking for something that they really have a reason. And I think that's a good thing because sometimes when you're going to try and do something that's gonna at least at the start seem restrictive to you, if you don't have a really good reason, it's going to be hard to stick with it. So I think for people that are getting started on a low carb diet, and this is just a long way, I guess, long-winded way of saying it, but for people just getting started on a low carb diet, you really need to have a good why, a good reason. And you
Mhm.
need to keep reminding yourself of that why, that reason, whatever it is. Like for me, a huge part of it is that I want to be able to grow old, watch my kids continue to grow and have kids of their own and be, a grandparent and all this stuff and be able to do those kinds of things while I still feel healthy and stuff and not be, so in so much pain that I can't really lift up my grandkids and that kind of stuff, right? So that's
Yeah.
like my why. And I always try and remind myself of that why, and that's why I'm doing this. And especially in the beginning, I think that that's important for people. That was kind of a long-winded thing to get us started, but what do you think about that?
I think you hit on a lot of great points, and I think back to when I decided to go on a low carb diet. I couldn't move much. My body hurt so bad with my back and arthritis, and it's not like I can go out and do a bunch of exercise. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to try a low carb diet because there's a lot of people who have been successful. A lot of people are familiar with. They're kind of familiar because they remember the old Atkins diet. And yes, it's similar to that, but at the same time, I mean, low carb means a lot of things. It can be ketogenic diet, can be carnivore, lion diet. I mean, low carb they're all in the ketogenic realm, but at the same time, I mean, it's just one of those things. I thought that made sense for me and my body, and it worked. I lost 100 pounds in 8 months, and it was one of those things that, yeah, I adjusted and changed the way I ate, and it made a big difference for me. And I didn't have to do a bunch of workouts to lose that weight. Just by changing the food I ate and made a huge difference for me. And I really don't understand why people still knock on it. And I see it even in comments on my videos. It's like they don't understand a high fat diet, or they don't understand the proper human diet, and they're so quick to judge because they've been bombarded by the media about, oh, fat's not good for you, it's killing you. And my blood work shows otherwise, and how much I've improved. My body shows otherwise: less aches and pains, less arthritis. I changed my size and shape. So it's kind of one of those things. I think there's just a stigma out there, and people don't understand, and they're too quick to judge without really having the facts. And they don't realize that maybe we've been educated wrong all along about weight loss. I guess if you're watching this and maybe you don't know what to do or where to start, I think a low carb diet is a great place to start. Anytime you can do an elimination type diet, you're going to find out what foods do what they do to your body. And that's a huge win for you, because you understand that maybe foods you were eating in the past caused you a lot of problems and pain and ache. And I found that out. So I guess that's what I like about the low carb diet. Just starting there and having, once you start having some success and see what foods work with your body, it'll change your life. And I think that's something that people can do and try, and don't be afraid to try it. And it's one of those things I've learned along the way, and my doctor supports everything I do, and it's worked great, Brian. I can't complain at all. So it does look like the Chargers pick is in, so that'll be coming up here pretty quick. They haven't walked up on the stage, but it's coming up here. But yeah, I mean, low carb is an amazing. I think going to a keto diet is amazing, and doing carnivore as well is amazing too. And, all those work wonderful, and you have to find which one works for you. And, I'm big. I do like a little bit of fasting too. I think that's a good thing. I tend to do a little bit better when I add a little bit of that to my plan as well. I don't fast for days on end. It's just, I have that window. Maybe I only have a 6-hour window where I eat any food. And that seems to work pretty well. So,
yeah. And I pretty much do that every day, where I'm only have like about a 6-hour window to eat. And occasionally I go a full 24 hours. But most of the time I do eat twice a day, but it is like maybe noon and then 6 o'clock again or something like that. And usually when that happens is mostly just because at noon I didn't eat quite enough, I guess, to get really, really full. So then by 6 o'clock or so, I'm hungry again and I'll have something else. But yeah, the intermittent fasting thing is pretty much something I've done all along here. The whole almost 2 years now. I have not had breakfast a single time. It's always been that later in the day meal.
Here comes the pick.
Okay. I have no idea. I'm just going to say JJ McCarthy, but I'm probably going to be wrong.
They took Joe Alt, the tackle from Notre Dame.
Oh, there we go. There's your first interior guy, right?
I was thinking, I remember someone watching a guy break that down, and he thought maybe that they would take a big tackle to protect Herbert. So that probably makes sense.
Yeah. I guess he's actually outside, but not interior. But
he's a left tackle.
Yeah.
And I think his dad played in the NFL, if I remember right, or maybe it was his grandfather now. I just remember there was an alt that played tackle, and he's a big guy. I'm guessing he's related, so there's probably not too many alts.
So Giants are on the clock then now, huh?
Hey, Eric, how you doing? It's good to see you, buddy.
Hey, Eric.
Eric's been a loyal follower of the Low Carb Football Party, and he's one of our best fans, biggest fans, I guess you could say. So thanks for tuning in, Eric. He's ready for football season, I think. So it'll be here before you know it. I mean, we're already into May. Time just goes so fast.
Yeah. So I was going to ask you something on going back to the starting the low carb. Yeah. For you've kind of done a lot there, right? Like you did keto, then kind of were more ketovore. You were going back and forth. Like one day you'd kind of do keto, the next day would be the full carnivore with no carbs. And then for a time period there, I think like a month or so, you did carnivore.
Yeah.
So you did a lot of experimenting. What did you find with doing the different things? What was the best you think for you?
I think all of it was good because it kind of kept my body guessing. And I think that's why, I lost the 100 pounds in I think it was 8 months and 1 week. I dropped 100 pounds. but I think it's because I kept my body guessing. It kept it working to figure out and keep losing weight. Keto, you have, I should say low carb, you have more flexibility. You can have more carbs. When I say a low carb diet, I'm saying less than 50 grams of carbs. Now, some people say, no, it's like 80, and that's fine. That's not what I'm here to argue about. But in my mind, a low carb diet was like 50 grams of carbs or less. A ketogenic diet is 20 grams of carbs or less. I see carnivore as like less than 10, maybe more like 5 grams of carbs to 0. A ketovore type diet is 10 grams of carbs. That's kind of how I looked at it. But for the most part, the bulk of my weight was lost on keto. And I want to say I averaged about 14 grams of carbs a day. And I would eat just 1,400 calories. Now, Brian, I know you're not a calorie guy. You don't really like to count calories or look at calories, but I found that I was more concerned about the carb than the calorie. It's just I kind of like to keep my calorie in that window, a certain window. And that I think helped me keep the food dialed in so I didn't go crazy with eating too much. But yeah, it looks like Eric's watching a little MLB there. That's going on. That's for sure. That season's just getting going. A lot of baseball.
So, Eric, who's your baseball team? Let us know in the comments.
How about you, Brian? Is there a baseball team you kind of follow and like?
Well, I grew up in Toledo,
Detroit
so I'm a
Tigers.
Detroit fan. So Detroit Tigers,
They're
and
bad this year, aren't they?
they're actually not doing bad. They're playing
Oh,
pretty well. They're
well,
above
that's good.
500. I think they're like 13-10 or 14-10, something
Okay.
like that. So they're or 14-11, something like that. So they're playing pretty well. Better than I expected. I don't expect it to last all year because they don't have that great of a team. Their pitching is going really well right now, but they've got some of the worst hitters in the league. They got this guy that's starting every single game and he's batting like 086. I can't figure out why they haven't sent him back down to the minors. He's a rookie and it's like he's not ready. It's obvious. But so I don't know. And then they got that Baez guy at shortstop. Um they signed him as a free agent a few years ago and he's been like a 200 if that hitter for them. So they got some bad hitters. I don't know.
The Giants selection is in. He's at the podium.
Oh, here you go. I can't tell. I'll
I
let you
could
know in
see it being
25 seconds.
McCarthy.
You think
Malik
it's gonna be him?
Neighbors, wide receiver from
Oh, it's
LSU.
you. Yeah.
So that means the Vikings, a quarterback's going to probably fall to them. I'm not sure. Maybe they won't take one. Maybe they'll wait for that second pick in the first round. It could very well be. Interesting. Wasn't there a couple
Tennessee's
knocks on him about his speed or his route running? I remember seeing something about that, but he's a great athlete. But
yeah. Tennessee's on the clock then, huh?
yep.
Hmm.
Surprisingly, there hasn't been any trades yet. So
Yeah. So if Tennessee picks here, I don't think they're going after a quarterback.
no.
I don't know who they really go after here.
Do they go after the tight end Bowers, maybe?
I don't know.
I could see that being the case. Maybe.
Yeah.
He's pretty talented.
Yeah.
Yeah, some of these other, once you get out of the top 5 in picks, it's a crapshoot as to who's going to be picked. So, plus I don't know the players that well.
Yeah.
But
I wonder about Dallas Turner from Alabama.
yeah, that could be.
Yeah. Isn't their head coach? Wasn't he a defensive guy?
I think so.
Oh.
So Brian, so if somebody's thinking about starting a weight loss plan, where would you recommend they start? In the ketogenic low carb realm, what do you think would be a great plan to start at?
Well, the first thing that I always say is not to just jump straight into it. And I know the majority of people jump straight into it, but that could be a little bit rough if you do that, right? It could discourage you enough that you don't want to continue, because just changing your diet that big, if you're eating like a lot of carbs and you go even to just low carb, um, it's a pretty big change. Like, your microbiome in your gut are used to eating. You have just certain ones that are used to eating all the carbs, right? And you change that, and that makes a difference. And you start going high fat, and that's a difference in your body. And then the other thing is, because you're not eating so many carbs, you're flushing out a lot of body that you're um a lot of water that your body is holding, right? So when you do that, what happens? You're losing electrolytes. So now it becomes a lot harder. You can even try and take electrolytes, right? And try and keep that going well. But because that you're flushing out so much every time you go in the bathroom, you're getting rid of those electrolytes. So easing in is always a better idea. Slowly cut down on the carbs over 4 to 6 weeks. And, first you want to get rid of some of the worst things, the most sugary things, the most highly processed foods, get rid of those and still eat some other carbs over those next 4 to 6 weeks as you're slowly going down, whether it's keto, you know, carnivore, ketovore, lion diet, whatever. Just slowly get there. You shouldn't have as many problems with going to the bathroom and stuff like that. You shouldn't have as much of a problem with fatigue, because the fatigue and a lot of that stuff is from the electrolyte loss that you have. And then also, you just still want to keep an eye on those electrolytes. You don't want to have, you know, you don't want to overdo it. You don't want to take too much, because like magnesium and potassium is something that you really need to keep in a good normal spot. And your body does a good job at that. But if you're taking too many, I'm seeing Eric's thing about Baez. Yeah. He's horrible. But anyway, if you're taking too much of magnesium, potassium, that can be a bad thing. That can be a really bad thing. So you don't want to take too much, but you also want to make sure you're getting enough, because if you're not getting enough, that can cause issues with uh, your blood pressure, your heart rate, skipped
Mhm.
heartbeats. Um, you can have problems, especially with magnesium, with cramping in your legs and stuff like that. So you got to try and get it right. And I think it's a little bit easier to maintain that and keep it right if you're easing in over a 4 to 6 week period. So that's the big thing that I always, put out there.
Yeah, I think that's some sound advice, Brian. And the other thing I think I'd like to say is, it's easy to get caught up in making it a race. I need to lose this much weight by this time, or you really can push for that. I mean, I'm guilty of that. I mean, I push pretty hard. I don't know. I think it's just one of those things you got to look at. It's a lifestyle change. You're changing the way you eat, you're changing your life. Don't look at it as a diet. Diets are temporary. This is a lifestyle change that you're going to embrace and get into, and just keep working the plan. The weight will come off. You'll feel better. You'll get healthier. And I'm with you on that. I think it's okay to ease in it so you don't have so many stomach issues. A lot of people get the keto flu. I actually been fortunate. I didn't really ever have keto flu. Maybe I felt a little weird, but nothing where I was sick or anything like that. But I honestly didn't really hit me. I know some people it really affects. Probably notice it more like going to the bathroom early on, especially if you've not eaten that way. You definitely are running to the bathroom more and have some issues that way. But everybody's different, obviously, so you got to keep that in mind. But I think it's not a race. Just change your life one day at a time. Excuse me.
Mm.
Looks like Tennessee's pick is in. They have not. They're a commercial, so I'm just reading on the bottom. So
Yeah, they're a commercial on mine too. So
After Tennessee, there's the Falcons, and then the Bears again, then the Jets, and
Yeah.
then the Vikings at pick 11.
Let's see if Chicago will go pick another quarterback. Then they have two quarterbacks fight it out to see who can be the starter.
That's what Washington did that year that they picked Kirk Cousins and Griffith the third. They both were
RG3.
drafted. Yeah, they're both drafted that year. One was like a 5th round. I think Cousins was the 4th or 5th round pick, but they both ended up obviously playing and stuff. So it's kind of interesting. I remember that because everybody's like, what are they doing picking another quarterback?
Yeah.
Hello, champion within. How you doing, Johnny? Hope you're feeling good and everything's going your way, man. It's good to see you.
Yeah.
What's new with you, Johnny? Johnny, his YouTube channel kind of exploded there with some great videos that he's been putting out. We always knew he was good, but it's nice to see his channel's growing and he's putting out some great content. So
Yep.
we always knew you had it in you. So it's nice to see that. All right, he's walking to the podium again. Tennessee Titans. We'll see who they pick. I don't know. I'm saying tight end maybe. We'll see.
So what do you think, Bowers or Turner on defense? I think it's be one of those two guys.
J.C. Latham, a tackle out of Alabama.
Oh, ooh, okay.
So
see, Goodell's just getting to the podium on my TV.
Yeah. 6'5" and 3/4 inches, and he's 342 pounds, and he's a junior. That's a big fella.
So I could be dreaming this, but didn't they just get rid of Derrick Henry too?
Yeah, I think so. Wasn't he a free agent or something? I'm not sure, I guess.
I think it's possible, yeah. So I wonder who they have at running back now.
Running backs has really changed the NFL now. There's not really that much of a demand. So,
yeah.
Oh, Johnny's putting on here. He did a 5K practice today. 58 minutes. Carnivore Backwoods next Saturday. That's awesome that you guys are going to do that.
Yeah.
Brian, my wife and I are looking at coming out that way. We're talking about vacation in maybe Tennessee next year, down over that way, North Carolina, but over your way anyways. Not that you're that close to that, but it's our 30th wedding anniversary, and we're kind of going to plan like a 10-day trip and maybe do a little tour of the United States. So that might. You
going to go to like the Smoky Mountains or?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, I was thinking like Pigeon Forge or Gatlinburg. Yep.
So Carnivore Backwoods is really close to that area.
Is he?
Yeah, he's basically in that. He's more in the backwoods, but
yeah,
he's in that basic area.
Yeah, we're thinking about going out that way. So who knows? Maybe we'd meet up with you guys. That'd be kind of fun.
Yeah. It's funny because I went to the NCAA tournament first round games in Charlotte. So I was down in the Champion Within's area. But he was out at that time, when he was doing the truck thing. So I didn't get to meet up with him. But I thought about it. I was like, oh, hey. And it was like, oh, yeah, he was in, I don't know, Iowa or wherever by you, right?
Yeah.
Chicago, something like out there. He was, so. Falcons pick is in already? That was fast.
Really? It's not even showing that on mine yet.
They must know who they want.
They must. Who would they pick? They just got Cousins. Bowers. Do you think they'd pick Bowers out of Georgia there? That makes sense, don't it?
Maybe. Didn't they pick a tight end like
a year or two ago, though? Sure.
I thought they picked a tight end a couple years ago.
I could see him trying to get the excitement, though, of the Georgia Bulldog fans, though, too. Did you read that article, Brian, or did you know Caitlin Clark, who played at Iowa?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know she sold more jerseys than the whole Dallas Cowboys did all last year in one day? Can you believe that?
This helmet is smiling right now as you said that.
You like Dallas as much as I do, don't you? But they're the team that sells the most jerseys usually, and she outsold the whole team in one day. That is just phenomenal.
That's crazy. Jerry Jones will not be happy.
No.
I have no idea who Atlanta's going to pick here. Before they actually start.
Johnny, that draft is going on right now, and they're on pick 8 now, and so 7 players have been picked already. So we're just they have 15 minutes. So I mean, there's 32 teams. So
I take it that and I could be wrong, but I take it that the question is how long after somebody is drafted before they actually start in the NFL?
It depends. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, so Chicago took Caleb Williams #1 overall. I'm pretty sure their plan is that he's going to start right away.
Plan pretty much right away. I'm guessing for most teams. Sorry, Johnny, I misread your question there.
So they're showing like the Falcons draft room, and everybody's just standing there. And the thing is said pick is in for like 5 minutes. I'm not sure what's going on. You still haven't seen who the pick is yet.
Yeah,
right?
It just says pick is in, so he hasn't walked to the podium yet, but pretty quick.
Man, they must have had to walk all the way from Atlanta or something.
He keeps walking from the back. He doesn't even have a tie on today. It's kind of weird. He almost doesn't look very healthy. I don't know what the deal is.
You talking about Goodell?
Yeah.
He's probably been heckled so much in the last few years.
He usually gets beat up pretty good. He's starting to walk to the podium now. So,
okay, I'll take your word for it.
We'll see who the pick is. This will be interesting.
So Johnny's
Michael Penix Jr. they drafted.
Oh, quarterback, didn't they?
Yeah, and here they just signed Cousins. That is just wow.
Well, maybe they're thinking Penix he's going to learn from him for a year or something. That might be it.
Maybe they're going to trade the Cousins back to the Vikes. No.
So Johnny's asking, what pick was Tom Brady in his draft? He was a 7th round pick, right? Or was it later than that?
Yeah.
It was when there was more than 7 rounds. Was it like 12th round maybe?
Yeah, I think so. It was
I need to look that up. I need to look that up because it's going to bug me if I don't figure it out.
Yeah, it was late. I know that.
Yeah.
The Cowboys lost again and they weren't even playing. Anytime the Cowboys lose is a good time.
Here we go. Tom Brady was drafted.
Was it 7th?
In the 2000 draft, 6th round, 199th overall. So he was a 6th round. I was thinking 7 for some reason, but number 199.
Yeah, he's got to be up there, I would say, for sure. I mean, it's hard to argue with all the Super Bowl rings. I still think there's some other great quarterbacks, though, like Joe Montana. But I'm really surprised at that pick, kind of. There's some other talent on the board that they probably could have made better use of.
So what's Chicago going to do? They got a quarterback.
Well, they could get the Bowers. They could get.
They got some good receivers that they've already brought in, haven't they?
Yeah, maybe
they got a pretty good defense.
Let me see here if they. I mean, they got probably maybe defense, something on defense, maybe defensive lineman.
I mean, they do got a good defense. I guess they could go for the guy from Alabama.
Yeah.
I don't know why I can't remember.
That Penix pick is probably the surprise of the first 10 picks anyway so far, because I don't think he was picked to go that high.
Yeah. Well, there's been some questions about his knee, right? Not his ankle, it was his knee, I think,
Yeah.
because he had the injury
I guess
before.
the good
So
news is he'll learn from Cousins. So
mm,
probably quarterback, I would say. They got to hit on you got to hit on all your picks really. But I would say quarterback if you're going to draft one, you got to make sure you pick the right one.
yeah. I mean, I'm gonna go with the stupid cliche. The most important draft is their next draft pick.
Yeah.
But like
Chicago's pick is
I
in.
mean, that's tough because you can't build a team on just one player. You have to have a really good draft year after year, where you pick up at least a few guys each year that are going to be successful on your team.
Bears' pick is in. They didn't waste any time. Next on the clock is the Jets and then the Vikings. And then Denver.
Oh, I'm going blurry out here. Sorry. My camera.
Brian, what do you think the Vikings are going to do at 11?
JJ McCarthy.
You think, yeah, possibly.
I can't get my camera to focus in. Look at that.
Don't the Jets kind of need somebody with Rodgers, He's kind of old, plus he was hurt.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to pop out for a second and get back in because my camera is messed up.
Hey, I just want to thank everybody for joining us tonight. We're just having some fun, me and Brian catching up on the draft and just having some good time. The pick is coming up for the Bears. The commissioner's walking up to the podium now, so I can tell you who they're going to pick. They picked Rome Aduze from Washington at wide receivers, who the Bears selected. So wide receiver for the Bears.
Oh, okay.
Well, there's some. Oh, the Vikings are the 10th and 11th pick now. On the bottom, it's showing the 10th and 11th.
Really? So they just did a trade with the Jets?
Just traded.
On my screen, it still has the Jets 10.
Oh, I know.
But Goodell just gave the pick for the Bears here, so I'm way behind you.
The only thing is, now maybe it's a glitch on the bottom because they still show the Vikings at 23. So I'm thinking maybe that's not correct. They show the Jets on the top part, but on the bottom they had the Vikings at 10, 11, and 23. But that's not the case, I don't think.
Yeah, mine it's showing the Jets on the clock, but I am behind you. So
I'm with you, Johnny. The line is probably the most underlooked position in NFL. I played line in high school and college, and I was always taught the line is where the games are won and lost, and it's true. To be honest, because if you have a good line that can run the ball, you can beat anybody. If you can protect the quarterback, you can beat anybody. So usually the media always talks about the skilled positions, the quarterbacks, the receivers, the running backs, the defensive secondary. They don't usually talk about the big guys in the middle, and that's where games are really won and lost. And you are absolutely right. You got to protect the quarterback, especially nowadays. You're one injury away from having a losing season. So
Greg, what as a former lineman, what do you think of the Lions making Penny Sewell the most or the richest offensive lineman in the NFL?
I think he earned it. He came in and busted his butt and proved that he's worth every penny. So I think that's, good for him. Nope, it shows right now. Round 1, pick 10 is the Vikings.
Oh, must have
swapped with the Jets.
It shows Vikings 10 and Jets 11. So they did a swap.
I wonder what they gave up for it.
They want JJ McCarthy. They were afraid the Jets were
going to get a quarterback, I bet.
Yep, they were afraid the Jets were going to take him, so they're going for JJ McCarthy.
The Jets probably just fleeced him. Oh, my TV.
I want to know what Minnesota gave up to move up one spot. I hope it wasn't the 23rd pick because that would be rough.
No, I don't think so because they still show it. But They probably something for next year or later.
It has to be a quarterback because it has to be somebody that they thought the Jets were going to take,
My
right?
TV locked up.
Uh-oh. It's because it's a Vikings pick. That's why it locked up.
So they did move up to the 10th. I was right along the ticker on
Hmm.
the bottom. It was just really slow to get it up, the rest of it up there. So
Yeah.
I'm with you. I'm guessing they're going to take a quarterback here. Oh no. I don't know which
Pick is
one.
in.
McCarthy probably, but I don't know. It could be Bo Nix too. Is that all? That's all that's left, right? Since Penix got picked. There's anybody else we're missing? Is there?
Not that I can think of that was
I'm
going to
guessing
be
it's
early.
McCarthy.
I think it's got to be McCarthy.
Oh, they gave the 10th overall a 6th rounder for next year to move up to 1 pick.
Hmm.
Or I'm sorry, a
That's
6th
not that
this
bad to
year.
only give up a 6th-round pick.
Oh, wait a minute. No. They gave up the 11th pick, the 4th round pick, and the 5th round pick. The
Okay.
Vikings get the 6th round and the 10th overall pick. So they gave up a 4th and a 5th rounder to move up 1 spot.
So
I don't know.
this sounds like last year, right? Oh, Vikings, it was intercepted.
I think they panicked. My goodness.
They had to have thought that the Jets were going to pick who they wanted.
Yeah,
It's got to be it. That's the only reason why you move up 1 spot.
right.
Hmm.
Evidently,
That's
they wanted
interesting.
whoever they wanted. That's the only one they wanted. So
Yeah. It's
the
interesting.
Viking pick was intercepted. Yeah. Yeah, I think that the Vikings panicked there. That's going to kill them. I don't know. 4th and 5th rounders really aren't that great, but they don't have any 2nd rounders. So
Hmm.
the draft is going to be made on these first 2 picks in the draft, I guess, in the 1st round.
Yeah. So who do they have right now for quarterback?
Sam Darnold.
Okay.
And then they got the rookie from last year. He played at BYU. I can't think of his last name, but he played like 1 game or 2 games.
Okay.
But he didn't look very good. I'm guessing McCarthy on this one because I don't think Bo Nix was rated that high. So,
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I I I mean, I don't think that McCarthy is ready to be a starting quarterback right away, though. I think he would do better if he had a year or two to learn in a system.
yeah,
And that's why I keep thinking like all these teams have been talking about picking him early that they would be better off as a year or two project with him. But
unless Vikings have somebody else in mind, that could be a possibility. I mean, there's a lot
yeah.
of good, talented players left. So,
Mhm.
I think they panicked though to trade up like that. It's like, come on, guys, really? Just take a gamble.
Well, it sounds like they gave up quite a bit to just move 1 spot
Yeah,
too.
they gave up a 4th and a 5th, and they swapped the 1st round pick, but then they got a 6th back. But still,
Yeah. I don't know. Well, they're making it sound like it's going to be McCarthy.
are they? Makes sense, probably. There was a lot of talk, but you never know how much of that is just smoke screen to who they really like.
Right.
They probably had their eye on Penix, and he got drafted by the Falcons. So they had their option of Penix or McCarthy. Well, then Penix got picked, so then they probably panicked.
Yeah, they said we can't lose them both, right?
Right. That'd be my guess.
Yeah.
Boy, long commercials. Holy cow.
While we have a commercial, We'll just show the Redskins helmet again. Jaden Daniels. Give him a couple years, but he could be something good.
Yeah, I can't believe they moved up one pick. The Jets just gained a couple extra picks, so just dropping back one. So they must not have been too sold on whoever they were taking.
I mean, maybe everybody's thinking that they're going to go for a quarterback, and they're not. Maybe they think Rodgers is going to be there for a few years yet.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I think this is going to be a make or break year for Rodgers, because if he has troubles with injuries again,
yeah,
I don't know, but maybe they think he's going to be there for a while. Oh, I see people walking up.
Yeah, there's people walking up with Goodell. You may be caught up a little.
I think I am. I wonder if your TV fell behind when it froze that one time.
Oh, that could be. Maybe I need to push ahead.
Yeah, we might be like talking about this, and everybody else is probably like, what are they talking about? Like, the pick's already been in for 30 seconds.
I'm not going to fast forward it now. I might miss it. All right, guys. I hope you're watching the picks at home.
I think I'm getting this like the same time you are, basically, right?
It froze up for a little bit, so it probably is. Maybe we should just keep it. I should keep it at the same pace.
I don't know. Goodell is doing a lot of talking.
Yeah.
All right. I guess the kid is going to give the pick.
You must be ahead of me.
Oh, I must be. Hey, finally, for once.
You can announce the pick, Brian.
JJ McCarthy of Michigan. As a Lions fan, I hope Hutchinson sacks JJ McCarthy a lot. Hutchinson, of course, came from Michigan too.
Well, I was behind. I actually moved ahead again.
Okay. Great. So the champion within says that since he lives in Charlotte, his favorite team is the Panthers. The Charlotte Panthers. Oh, what happened? Oh, there we go. But it has been a tough couple of years lately. Yeah, I mean, I know that rookie quarterbacks don't usually do great their first year if they're starting right away, but I thought Bryce Young was going to have a better year than he did last year. So I think it's going to be interesting to see how this year goes. I think there's not really a lot around him on offense, I think they need more weapons there. And of course, Greg is just all over JJ McCarthy right now as a Vikings fan.
I don't know what to think of it, to be honest. Yeah, I'm not sure.
I just don't think he's going to be starting right away. I mean, I could be wrong, but I really think he needs a year or two.
Didn't he look bad at the draft combine, but then on his pro day, he looked pretty good? It'll be interesting to see who the Jets take here, but I bet you it's not a quarterback.
Yeah, I don't know what they're doing.
Well, the main quarterbacks are gone because Bo Nix, I think, was rated late first round talent.
Well, it's the Jets, though. They might be taking somebody that was supposed to go in the third round.
They say he's a lot like C.J. Stroud. J.J. McCarthy is playing style. We'll see.
I guess Stroud could be mobile, but he never liked to run. I think McCarthy liked to run more. I think Stroud had a heck of an arm. I don't know. I don't know. I think that McCarthy could make it in the NFL. I just think that what would be best for him, at least, I think, is to learn in a system behind a veteran for a year or two.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
He probably will start the season behind Darnold, is my guess.
Okay, let me rephrase that. A good veteran?
I don't get too excited about the Vikings anymore, Brian. They always disappoint, so I'm just like, whatever.
Hmm.
The only thing advantage of the Vikings getting a rookie quarterback now, they don't have any salary cap issues for 4 years. I mean, they can spread that money around for other people. That's the advantage of having a rookie quarterback or a young quarterback.
Yeah. So the Jets says the pick is in already.
Yep.
I have no idea what they're doing. I don't think they can go for a quarterback now. I
There's a
mean,
lot of
maybe
great
they will go
players.
for Bo Nix, but Bowers is still out there at tight
Yeah,
end.
that makes sense.
There's God, I can't remember his name.
You
The
know, they're
guy
doing
from
a lousy
Alabama on
job of showing the
defensive
players
end.
available on the NFL Network.
Hmm.
I
What's
must
that guy's name from Alabama? That defensive end. He played like linebacker or defensive end. I think he's gonna be a defensive end in the pros. Man, I can't remember his name. I'm surprised he hasn't gone yet. Anderson, Will Anderson, right? No,
say.
Will Anderson was last year. Wait, right? Yeah, I don't know. I can't remember.
Oh, here's
It's
the
not.
pick.
See, you're ahead of me again.
A tackle, Oma Fashadu from Penn State. You see, they picked a
Okay.
tackle.
Well, Minnesota looks really stupid right now, or they look really smart because they took a quarterback away from the Jets. One of the two.
Yeah. Well, I suppose the Jets figured they could just pick up a quarterback later if they really want one. I'm guessing they may wait till later in the draft to pick a Brock Purdy. You think back to that year when Brock Purdy was drafted as Mr. Irrelevant, all those first round pick quarterbacks didn't work out. None of them. So
Hmm.
it's kind of like that's to me why you don't give the farm for a quarterback in the first round, because it's like, well, they may not pan out anyways. So
Yeah.
I don't think the Vikings gave up a lot, but to move up the one pick, but I don't know, especially the later picks. So next on the clock is the Denver Broncos, and the pick is not in. So,
Hmm.
hey, I'm gonna escape a second here, Brian. All this liquid's running right through me. So,
All right. So we do have Denver on the clock, and I have no idea what Denver's going to do. And by the way, I don't know why I was thinking Will Anderson from Alabama. That was last year. I could not remember the name. I had to look it up. It's Dallas Turner that I'm talking about. He's expected to be like a defensive end, rush end type in the NFL. And I'm kind of surprised that he hasn't gotten picked yet, but we'll see what happens there. So, see, just checking the comments here. We saw that one already. Okay, so we're good there. So while we're waiting for Greg, we'll go back into our topic of starting a low carb diet, and we've talked a little bit already about, or at least I was talking about easing in over like 4 to 6 weeks instead of jumping right in. One of the big questions I get a lot has to do with how do you know how much fat to eat, right? Because low carb, you're doing low carb, high fat. And I think you have to kind of experiment with it a little bit. And some people will have issues with more the liquid fat, rendered fat, right? So sometimes you want to stay away from that. But I think the big key with how much fat is going to be if you're having trouble going to the bathroom, like you're really constipated, then you're probably not getting enough fat. And if you're going, you're having issues I just say it, diarrhea. You're probably eating too much fat and you might need to scale it back. And you need to keep in mind that that can change throughout your diet. Like, I think I found, again, like I'm getting close to 2 years now, but I think I found that over time, I'm eating less fat than what I was in the beginning. And I think some of that was because before I came to eating this way, I wasn't eating very much fat. And I think that my body really needed it. Like I was really deprived of some of the things like, your brain uses fat and you use fat in so many different ways in your body. And so I think that I really need a lot more early on than what I needed as I continued on. So I think that changes, but that's probably a good way to know, just going in, like, how much is the right amount of fat for me. You just kind of go by um, how things are going with going to the bathroom and stuff. If you're if you some people will talk about how they start getting nauseous with eating certain foods that are fattier foods. Well, that's probably your body telling you that you're eating actually too much fat. So those kinds of things. So Champion Within says I had to start over after falling off the wagon. It took 4 weeks for the hip and knee pain to go away. Yeah. That's the rough thing, right? Like when you fall off and you start to feel the aches coming back and so forth, like it it's not like if you only like have like one cheat day or something, it's not a big deal. But when you fall off and it's been several weeks or a month or whatever, and you try and get back into it, it seems like it takes longer than it did the first time. I don't know why that is, but it does for some reason.
I've been struggling with a lot of knee pain lately. The only thing I'll say is like the last week has been really bad. Today it was great. It was just really weird. We did have a cold spell, so I think between that and maybe not eating as good as I should was part of the issue, with having knee pain.
Yeah. Did we miss a pick? No.
No, the Broncos pick is in.
Okay, but they haven't given
It
it yet.
sounds like
All
the
right.
Vikings might have traded up because they were afraid the Broncos or Raiders were trying to trade to get JJ. That's why they moved up the one pick.
That they were going to trade with the
Yeah,
Jets.
yeah. So
Hmm.
that maybe makes sense. I changed my broadcast over to ESPN.
Okay.
They just didn't do a very good job of showing what's available. So, granted, they might be talking about it, and I'm just missing it because we're talking. But
Yeah.
I don't know who the Broncos will pick. They traded their QB away. Is there any? Who do they have at quarterback?
I don't know.
Will they take Bo Nix here? Maybe.
I don't know. They have, isn't Peyton their head coach? Gary Payton or
Yeah,
whatever.
they took Bo Nix. The
Did they
Broncos.
really?
Yep. So that's probably why the Vikings traded to get JJ.
Huh.
Hi, Christine.
Hey, Christy. Wow. So do you think though, because Bo Nix is a totally different type of quarterback than McCarthy, I think. Do you
Yeah,
think that the Broncos really were looking at McCarthy if Nix was, or if he
maybe
was still
not.
available, or were they just looking at Bo Nix?
Bo
That's
Nix
an
is quite a bit
interesting one.
bigger. I know. 6'2", I guess, 214 pounds.
So on my TV, they still haven't picked. They are showing Bo Nix, but they, they still haven't made the pick yet. He's just staring at the TV.
Really? Yeah, you're behind me about 25 seconds again.
It says Broncos pick is in still.
So Bo Nix played at Auburn, huh? Then he ended up going to
All
Oregon.
right, now they're showing that he was just drafted or you just picked Bo Nix. That's how far behind I am now. I think I fell further behind.
Boy, there's a lot of good players for late in the round. The Vikings are sitting pretty for picking up a decent player. He's referring to Christy and her picanha.
So the Raiders are on the clock.
Well, Bo Nix had 77% completion percentage, though. That's pretty
Oh
good.
yeah, yeah, yeah. He had some really good weapons at Oregon too, but he was really good.
Well, they needed a quarterback, so
Didn't he play for like 5 years too? Isn't he like
yeah,
23
I
or
think
something like
so.
that? So he's a little bit older than some of the guys in the draft. He actually wasn't there in Detroit, huh?
No, he's sitting with his
Yeah.
family.
He was
He
down
probably
in
thought he was going to
Alabama
be a
instead.
late first round pick, though,
Probably.
because I think he was slated to be. The Raiders pick is in. I'm not sure what they'll be doing.
I have no idea.
I could see him going for, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see where Bowers ends up going.
Yeah, he still
There were
hasn't been
6
picked.
quarterbacks taken in the top 12 picks.
6, you said?
Yeah. Williams,
Wow.
Daniels, May, Penix Jr., McCarthy, and Bo Nix.
Wow. I don't think there's going to be a quarterback for a while, though.
No.
Those were the big guys.
Yep.
Like seriously though, out of those 6 guys, do you think any of them are going to have a really good first year? I mean, that's so hard for a rookie quarterback to do. I don't know.
Hey, we'll see you later, Johnny. Take care, buddy. Thanks for stopping in.
I'll be looking forward to watching that video too.
Oh, the Raiders pick is in. Brock Bowers. We were just talking. I figured maybe he'd go to them, but I wasn't sure. He hasn't at the draft either.
So it's New Orleans Saints now, right?
Let's see here. Yeah, it will be New Orleans.
Yeah. Or as some people say, Nolans. Yeah, they're showing him. Of course, my TV's behind, but they're showing him right now, and he looks shocked, like he had no idea he was going to get picked.
Well, I suppose people are just going for the talent now. I mean, since the quarterbacks are kind of gone, they're just going to. You'll see a lot of good players get drafted now too.
Mm-hmm.
So our topic tonight was kicking off a low carb diet, and as far as anytime's a good time to start a low carb diet, right, Brian?
Yeah, I think so.
And even if you're like me and haven't been completely on a low carb diet for a while, it's a good time to get back on it. That's what I plan on doing.
Yeah, so you're going to start tomorrow?
Yeah, why not?
There you go.
That's the thing with the key is, just get right back on it. If you do have a rough spell or a time frame, it's like, well, just get back at it, You can be very successful doing that. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it has been. You're right. It has been all offensive picks, Brad. I kind of forgot about that. How you doing tonight, Brad?
That's kind of crazy, isn't it? No defense.
Brad, he's going on a cruise soon. You're going on a cruise too, aren't you?
Yeah. In June, I think it is, like mid to late June or something like that. So when it's gonna be nice and hot, yeah, in the Caribbean. So it'll be interesting. At least it's kind of a little early for hurricane season. I hope in June. I hope.
Yeah, I think it's more fall. I think for hurricane season usually.
Yeah, July, especially August, I think is when it really kind of starts kicking in. Like August and September, I think are the worst months for it, but
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about the Vikings pick. I just kind of whatever.
I think that's why you're wearing the lion shirt over there.
Yeah, it
So.
must be. There should be some good talent for your Lions by the time you get to the end of the draft with all them quarterbacks going off the board.
Yeah, let's hope so. We'll see. I mean, I like I said before, I think they need a defensive back really bad. So
You know, kind of like what Brad is saying with 13 straight offensive picks. You know, the league has changed to where it's all kind of an all offensive league. So I can see why all the offense is going off the board. But you know, I think you're going to get a great defensive back where the Lions are sitting because, you know, I'm guessing we'll see a run on defensive players at some point. But yeah, I'm with you. I mean, I think that there'll be some good players late in the draft for you for the Lions for sure. There's just no defensive linemen have went off the board. No pass rushers. No interior defensive linemen. I'm thinking the Vikings. I'd like to see them go an interior defensive lineman or maybe a pass rusher if there's a decent one. I agree with you, Brad. I think it will be a rough year. You never know. I think they probably should just start Sam Darnold.
Yeah, I still don't think that McCarthy's going to be the starter to start with.
Not first few weeks, anyways. Maybe they will. I don't know. Maybe they want to sell jerseys, so you never know. I wonder if they'll. I don't know if number 9 is retired from Tommy Kramer or not. If he'll wear number 9, because I haven't seen that number since Tommy Kramer was with the Vikings. So it'll be interesting to see if he wears that number.
Well, you can tell we're doing the low carb football party because I am yawning again.
It's a marathon. We're already an hour and 42 minutes into this draft.
Wow.
Since we broadcast, I should say.
I haven't been doing live streams. I'm not used to doing this. It's wearing me out.
Halfway through yet, but I think the picks will go faster as we go here. Maybe.
Yeah. Well, I got to work tomorrow, so if it goes until like 1 a.m., I don't think I've been staying out that late.
Yeah, I don't think it'll, unless there's a bunch of trades. I don't think.
Of course, you're in Central Time, so it's not as late for you. It's almost 10
o'clock. No, it's only 8:43 right now. Yeah, you're 9:43 already.
Yep.
At least he's got an offense around him. I will say that. He should have, decent protection, but just trying to pick up all the defenses that are thrown at you is a challenge in the NFL. We'll see, but the pick is in for the Saints.
See, I was just going to say the Saints are taking forever. I'm at like 1 minute and 51 seconds and counting here. It's not showing that the pick's in yet on my TV. See how behind I am now. All right, it just went in after 135 or something like that. So
yeah.
So yeah, I'm like 25 seconds behind you again. That's where I was at the beginning of the draft.
Yeah, I fell behind when my TV was buffering. Brad's saying kick off a low carb by putting a meal plan together and sticking to it. Yeah, that's a good idea. And meal planning is a big deal for sure. Having a menu, doing some meal prep is a good thing too, as well.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm kind of mixed on the ESPN broadcast versus the other one.
Yeah, talking about the meal plan thing, with going back into the office a couple of days a week now, I'm finding myself needing to plan more than I used to, right? Because I used to where I'd be working from home and just when when I got hungry, I'd go down and take some time, for a break or whatever, and make something. And now, I don't want to get myself stuck in a position where I have to find some fast food or something at lunchtime. So I'm planning ahead of time, like the night before or something. I cook up whatever it is I'm gonna take it in, to work. So it's definitely become more important for me to do the meal planning than it used to. So definitely, if there's anybody out there that they they go in wherever it is outside of their home to work, meal planning is definitely going to be a key.
Yeah, I found since meal planning it's been a big part all along, but especially now that I'm working, and it's like you said, you get if you don't plan, you don't bring nothing. Next thing you know, you're grabbing junk food or stuff you shouldn't eat. So it's a big deal to have your lunch packed and plan ahead and stick to the plan.
Mm-hmm.
And he's walking up to the podium for the Saints.
I don't even know why I'm watching my TV.
Oregon State tackle Talasi Fuaga.
Okay. He's still just walking up to the podium on my TV.
Funny, quarterbacks and tackles.
So it's still no defensive players.
He must be originally from Hawaii because he has his family's wearing the leis around their necks, and that's awesome. Yeah, he's from Hawaii. He's in Hawaii now. So, yep. Colts are on the clock. Yeah, I'm wondering how long this offensive player run is going to go.
I don't know.
It looks like your Toledo guy might be falling down in the draft a little. Maybe he'll go to your Detroit Lions.
I mean, that'd be great. I don't know that he'll go 29. I mean, there's been no defensive backs yet.
No.
At all.
Yeah, I'm really curious to see what the Vikings do next. They'll probably go edge rusher or interior defensive lineman. I would like to see him take an interior defensive lineman because you get that run stuffer, the guy in the middle that occupies 2 or 3 guys. It frees up a lot of your guys.
Where was this guy at? That was just
He's Oregon State.
Oregon State. Okay.
Yep. Okay. So they must not be liking the guy that played at UNI anymore because he was a tackle that got drafted in the first round too. Penny. Trevor Penny. A couple years ago. He's a local kid from right by us that got drafted. Boy, they put a lot of money into that stage for that draft, don't they?
Yeah,
and the
they
screens
do.
And changing colors and that Eagles fan's kind of funny.
It shows you just how much money they're making, but like when you go to their games and it's like $15 for a beer and like $10 for a hot dog, it makes sense. They're making a lot of money.
Yeah. It's not even reasonable for the common man to go to a game anymore, I don't think. I mean, to take your family and stuff, it's just, you can't take them all. I mean, it's pretty hard to do. You can, but you better be able to support the high dollar tickets and food and lodging and there's a Dallas Turner edge rusher, best available, a guard from Washington, Another edge from UCLA. Cooper DeJean is fourth best from Iowa at cornerback.
Yeah.
Brian Thomas Jr., wide receiver from
Dallas
LSU.
Turner's the one I'm surprised he hasn't been picked yet. I thought for sure he was going to be drafted early.
Who was that?
Dallas Turner.
Oh, okay. Yep.
From Alabama.
The guy's an athlete and he's eating Doritos. What the heck?
Who's this? I got to tell you, man, there's so many teams that I don't think that they are prioritizing nutrition with their players. Okay, I see it now. Are the guys eating the Doritos? That's the guy from Alabama, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I wonder if he's got a deal with Doritos, and they're like, you need to eat these during the draft every time they show you.
Yep, the draft is in Green Bay next year. Are you going to go to it, Eric? You know, my brother went to when they had it in Kansas City. My brother went to that. I don't know if that was last year or the year before. It was the year before because last year it was in Vegas, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it was.
You know that crowd's going to stick around till the Detroit has their pick.
I know I'm way behind you, but they're showing the Toledo cornerback now, Quinyon Mitchell. They probably already showed him on yours.
Yeah.
He's just, at least he's not eating Doritos, but he's just on his phone. So
the Colts pick is in.
I was just gonna say, it says the Colts pick is in. Am I still way behind you or not?
Maybe yeah, not. I think so. I might have missed it.
And so I have no idea what the Colts are doing.
3 hours away and hotels are already full.
Oh gosh.
Does that guy not have socks on and he's got short pants or what?
I don't know. I'll find out in 25 seconds, maybe.
Do you see him yet?
No.
They'll show the room. And
yes.
Does he have socks on or no?
No, he does not. He does not. Those are the shortest pants. He looks like
his face at the end was hilarious.
He looks like I know this might sound bad, but it looks like he just was immigrating over to the US from like Europe or something, was on the boat for like 3 months, and he was like a 12-year-old, and now he's like 13 or something, and he's gotten much taller, and his pants don't fit him anymore. Oh my gosh.
Well, they took Latu from UCLA, the edge rusher for the Colts.
So it's your first defensive guy, right?
Yep. So I wonder if we'll kind of start seeing a run on defensive players.
Could. Very well could.
He's at the draft.
All right. He just announced it on my TV.
He missed 2 seasons after being told to medically retire for his neck. Isn't that kind of a questionable pick then, if that's the case?
I would think so, yeah. I mean, 15th overall?
Yeah, and he was told to retire before. He missed 2 seasons. Yeah, I don't think I'd gamble. That's a gamble if you ask me.
Well, it sounds like he's played the last 2 seasons now. Maybe they're figuring he's past that and he's healthy, but
yeah,
I don't know. First round pick, that's tough. So now it's Seattle. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, they got a new coach too, right?
Yeah. Um, Boy, I think they almost just need to do best available, probably, whether it be defense, offense, or
Mm. Eric. Yeah, way too much steak for some.
he was. They were like just below his knees. I was like, what the heck? They're
Oh
like
man.
capris, men's capri pants. Well,
Oh
I'm glad I pointed that out for everybody to get a laugh because I thought it was kind of hilarious.
yeah, that was crazy. Maybe not this won't even sound good. I was gonna say maybe he was doing a low carb diet but no, that'd be the opposite. So I can't even think straight anymore. That's how tired I am because I'm used to going to bed around this time. Maybe he
Well, we
switched
could
from
always
low carb to the
we could,
standard American diet. There we go.
we could always pack it in early. There's only 3 of us watching anyways. Me, you, and Eric.
Well, Brad is here.
Yeah. Sorry if I missed anybody. He's trying to eat.
I definitely want to see the Lions pick, but man, I got to wait all the way to 29th. I don't know when that's going to happen. At this
You
rate,
might be
it's going to
falling
be
asleep by the
midnight.
time that happens. These picks aren't coming in that fast, considering.
They're doing it on purpose, I'm sure, because I
It,
said something, you know?
well, I'm shocked that there hasn't been more trading around in the later rounds. I mean, the only trade was the Viking trade with to move up a pick.
Yeah. Yeah. I
That's
don't
it.
know. I mean, sometimes there's more trading though at the end of the round, but yeah, I don't know.
Oh, I think people are trying. There's a lot of value out there still, so I think most people will be taking their picks.
Mm. Seattle's taking forever though. They got like 3.5 minutes.
Yeah, they are. I really don't. They haven't been very good about showing what they need either. Here, I'm kind of disappointed. It's not like I did all the homework on this.
Yeah.
I'm really intrigued on what the Vikings will do. I could see him taking a good corner if he's there, or
What is
an
it?
interior lineman, or pass
20
rush.
what is it? 23rd?
Yeah,
Hmm.
I could see him taking an interior lineman. There's no nose tackles off the board.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean,
Seahawks pick is finally in.
there's only been the one defensive guy. That was the last pick, right?
No, there's 2 edge guys, wasn't there? No, or no?
I thought the last pick was the first one.
I'll watch the ticker on the bottom here.
Maybe. I don't know.
Edge
No.
rusher for Indianapolis, and then
Wasn't that the first
yeah,
one?
no, that's it. You're right, because Seattle's up. I'm not sure what they need, so
I don't know either.
we're almost 2 hours into this.
Mm.
Hey, Eric, did you see our cool intro? Yeah, I don't think I'll watch any of the rest of the draft after tonight. The Vikings
Yeah.
don't have much for picks. All the fanfare is the first round, anyways. Usually,
See, the Lions usually do good like in those middle rounds. That's usually at least, well, I say usually like in the last couple years. Um,
I was gonna say, aren't they usually the first 10 picks?
well, but like some of their better picks, like St. Brown, wasn't he like a third round pick or something? Let me look him up. Um, let's see. He was fourth round, 112th overall. And you know how they always do the thing where they'll be like so many years later they'll like do a redraft of what would have happened or something. And like in the redraft now, just in a couple years, everybody's saying like he would have been a first round pick.
Yeah.
So they've done a really good job with some of those middle round picks. So I tend to watch just because of that, because I'd like to see who they're going to get and think that maybe they're going to get somebody good. Now, granted, this is only in the last couple of years. You go back before that, 5-10 years ago, their first round pick would be number 3 overall, and it would be somebody like, remember Joey Harrington, who'd never. Yeah. So this is just a new thing in the last couple of years that they've been getting good at doing draft picks, but at least it gives a Lions fan hope to watch the middle rounds of the draft, because we know now that we actually have somebody that knows how to make picks. Before, we would have we needed everything on offense and defense except for wide receiver, and we would pick a wide receiver in the first round and be like, okay, there's our fourth wide receiver. Too bad nobody can throw the ball to him.
Yeah.
Nobody can block on the offensive line. They still haven't given the pick, huh?
No. Like you said, they're timing it out, I think. This thing probably won't be wrapped up till midnight your time, I'm guessing.
Goodell's like, man, we've got to really maximize those commercials, guys. Take your full 10 minutes.
It's going to be a 4-hour ordeal. Yeah, right there, they're showing on the clock 5:50, yet the pick is in. So, yeah, they probably are going to time it out.
Yeah.
Well, Eric's, while we're waiting, I'll go ahead and show you our little clip from earlier. So it'll take just a little bit here, a minute. So I'll go ahead and play it so you can see the intro. Welcome to the Low Carb Football Party NFL Draft Edition. Starring Brian from Wick Carnivore. Starring Greg from My Weight Loss Life. Tonight we'll bring you the NFL Draft live. And also we will talk about kicking off a low carb diet. Grab a drink and pull up a chair. It's showtime. And the Seahawks picked Byron Murphy II, a defensive tackle from Texas.
Welcome, everybody, to the Low Carb Football Party. We're going to redo this thing because we don't like the drafts that has happened so far. So we're going to start with the first pick of the first round here in just a minute. Now that I totally confused anybody watching.
That's okay, Brian. It's just a couple of us.
So this is the second defensive player in a row, though.
Yeah, we'll probably see a run more now on like corners and stuff too, I'm guessing. I was hoping a defensive tackle Vikings could get a guy like him. He looks like a beast. Eric, thanks for moving up in the world. Vikings are on the clock at pick 17.
It was supposed to be Jacksonville. They just traded up.
Traded up again.
What is going on in Minnesota?
I wonder who they're going after now. What did they give up for it? That's the question.
Did they think like Jacksonville or Cincinnati or somebody was going to take somebody that they wanted?
Evidently.
Or somebody that's still available that they didn't think was going to be available.
It's somebody they're still high. They're really high on, evidently. I wonder what, since that big defensive tackle went off, they're going after another one.
Maybe they had a couple of defensive tackles they were looking at, and when one went, they're like, well, I better get the other guy.
Yeah. I've started to think the Vikings strategy for drafting is not the greatest. We'll see what they take, but.
Well, the pick is in already.
Yeah. Yeah, they traded. I'm anxious to see what they traded.
They knew exactly who they wanted, apparently. They traded.
Well, you're wondering what they gave up for it. Here it is.
They had to have given up the 23rd pick and then something else.
Well, yeah, I'm guessing the 23rd pick is. Here it is. Jaguars traded. Dallas Turner.
Alabama. See, I'm surprised he didn't go earlier, though.
See, edge rusher. Yeah. Yes. They still have the 23rd pick or not? I don't know if they do.
I don't know.
I suppose they'll all be saying the Vikings won the first round since they got two big players.
They are still showing them on my TV, at least, as having the 23rd pick.
They showed that on mine too, but I don't know.
What did they had to have traded the 23rd and something else? But you said they didn't have any middle round picks either. So
yeah, because they don't have
any
any
second round draft picks for next year as well in this.
That's what I'm wondering if they gave up something from next year, like a second or third rounder, maybe. Well, I mean, it made sense they got somebody for defense.
If they still have the 23rd pick, though, too, that's crazy. To get 3 first-round picks.
That'd be awesome if they did. I kind of like that Vikings hat, the black hat. It looks pretty cool. I'm with Eric. The Vikings are tired of waiting around like the rest of us. This has got to be one of the most inactive first rounds I ever remember. Yeah. It's really lacking excitement.
So here's a good question. So I just saw where Goodell was there with Dallas Turner, and he had the Vikings jersey that said Turner on the back.
Yeah.
How do they make up jerseys with everybody's name on it?
No, they laid it. I think that little bit of downtime. They have a lady in the back, or in the past I've seen it. There's a
Well, it
lady
says
that
the pick is in. Somebody knows, and they're doing the
they have the
jersey.
Viking. They have all the jerseys, and then they just slap the name on the jersey quick. They iron it on. I seen them doing it like here a couple years ago.
So, like, while the pick is in, but not actually announced yet, or do they
I
wait
think
until
they
it's
do it
announced?
right when they announce it, because you notice how they're always in the
Okay.
green room and they kind of are doing their thing, and then they're throwing the jersey together that quick.
All right. Because I was gonna say, like, what are they doing with all those jerseys that have the wrong name on it?
Yeah, because they have to have a couple extra in case there is trades. But if you think about it, it's probably just for the first round. I mean,
Yeah.
so
Yeah, it
it's like, well,
is.
they bring 2 or 3 jerseys of each team, and that's all they need.
I don't know.
But
They might need a bunch for the Vikings if they
but then
keep
they have to
making
have the
trades.
nameplates. They kind of have to have an idea with the nameplates though,
Yeah.
too.
Hmm. Who's on the clock now? I don't even know.
I'm gonna switch channels. I think it was Jacksonville, if I remember right.
Is it?
No, Cincinnati. Let's see.
Oh, Cincinnati, I think is right. Because Jacksonville was going to be on the clock.
Yeah,
With
they switched with the
Minnesota.
Vikes, so because they're back at 23 now, so the Vikings are done.
Okay. I wonder what else they gave up other than the 23rd.
I have not heard yet. If you hear, I changed it back over the NFL Network. Let me know, but I've
All
not
right.
heard what they traded for it.
So there's only been 2 trades, right? And they were both the
Right?
Vikings.
Yeah.
Crazy. Oh my gosh. That's crazy.
My guess is there maybe some more middle round stuff.
Yeah.
The Vikings had a pretty busy free agency period. I mean, they have quite a few players, so I don't know. They must feel there's going to be a lot of free agents available at the end of the draft to fill up their roster.
Yeah.
But
Trying to see if I can find somewhere where they're listing any details on the trade, but I don't see anything.
hey, Brian, I'll be back in a minute.
Okay. Well, I am way behind by like 30 seconds, so I'm still at a commercial. For all I know, Cincinnati has picked already, and I don't know. So I don't know if this is confirmed or not, but I'm hearing they gave up the 23rd overall and a 3rd and 4th pick in 2025. We'll have to see what Greg thinks about that when he gets back. And of course, I'm so far behind. I have no idea if the next pick has already come in. But oh well, it's just Cincinnati. Sorry, Cincinnati fans. But So while we're waiting here, I guess we can go back into our topic about low carb, starting low carb. And so another question that comes up a lot of times early on with what to do early on going into low carb is how often you should eat. And I always recommend that you should continue to do at the start what you were doing before. So if you were eating 3 times a day, start with 3 times a day. And as you go, you might drop down to 2 or maybe even in some cases 1. A lot of people look at OMAD, which is 1 time a day, and they say, hey, that's like the big craze. I should be doing that. And that's not necessarily the best thing to do right off the bat if you've been used to eating 3 or 4 times a day. So I always say just kind of, start with where you were and ease into whatever ends up working best for you. So
Amarius Mims, the tackle of Georgia, was the pick of the Bengals.
Okay, so I got to tell you this here. I don't know if this is confirmed, but on Twitter or X or whatever you want to call it, they're saying the Vikings gave up the 23rd overall pick and then a 3rd and 4th round pick in 2025.
Are you serious?
I don't know if that's the truth. I don't know if that's confirmed.
Nuts.
But that does seem like a lot. And
That's
you were just saying they don't have 3rd and 4th round picks this year. They're not going to have them again next year.
Oh man.
If that, again, I don't know that that's confirmed. That's Twitter, that there's so much BS that gets posted on Twitter. Who knows if that's really true? But that's
crazy if they did. Here. They're throwing the future away.
I don't know.
Boy, these guys aren't doing a very good job of announcing what's going on.
Yeah, I don't know. So the Rams are on the clock now, huh?
Yep.
Okay, so yeah, Greg, this is what happened. All right, this is coming from Adam Schefter. Now, Vikings got the 17th overall pick. Jaguars got 23rd overall pick, 5th round pick this year, and a 3rd and 4th round pick next year.
Wow,
that's a lot to move up 6 spots. That's crazy.
That is just crazy.
Wow. I mean, I guess they're saying that, hey, these couple of picks that we're doing, but you gotta do good throughout the draft. You can't just go with 1 or 2 guys.
Are they gonna trade JJ? Watt? I mean, I'm not Watt. Not JJ Watt.
McCarthy?
No, Justin Jefferson.
Oh gosh.
Right God, now, I can't believe that.
Now, McCarthy's like, I'm going where Justin Jefferson is, right? They traded him. Oh, no.
I just can't believe they're doing that. That's just stupid. You can't tell me that guy's that much better. They could have got him at 23 or somebody else. It's like, really? I've always questioned whether Kwesi could draft, and now I'm really starting to wonder.
I mean, Turner's a really good player, I think, but that's an awful lot to give up.
Right. Yeah, I think they're.
I'm reading some of the comments under Schefter's, his tweet here or whatever, and people are like, "This is the worst trade of all time."
Yeah, that's
it's not a bad trade for the Jaguars.
Yeah, that was a good deal for them.
Oh my gosh.
Wow. I still can't believe that.
There is a Vikings fan that is really excited about it, though.
Well, he probably likes Alabama. Yeah, I think it's
I just heard in the background something about Jared Goff.
yeah, that well, they just said that he first round pick since Jared Goff
Oh,
for
for the
the
Rams.
Rams.
Wow.
Did you hear it from my TV?
Yeah, it came through
Whoops.
because I'm behind, remember?
I better turn it down.
Oh man. Oh yeah, and when they did the trade with Goff and Stafford with Detroit, I think they traded a couple of their first round picks to Detroit. Hmm. Yeah, man. I don't know. I'm still thinking about that whole Vikings thing. I
I
can't
think
believe they
that's
traded that much.
I think they gave up way too much to move up 5 spots, and I just think it's a reach. He's coming in for the pick again.
Who knows what the Rams are going to do? Eric says Vikings are desperate tonight.
Yeah. Now, Verse, Florida State defensive end, got picked by the Rams.
Huh.
I kind of like the draft caps. I'm like, are they kind of a gray or black? They look kind of cool. Eric, I'm with you on that. I think the first one I didn't mind, but the second one here was just a complete waste of picks. I'm not saying the guy's bad, but I just think they could have maybe got him or someone comparable, their few picks later. Then you sacrifice those other picks.
So we got the Steelers on the clock now. Wait, this guy that just got drafted, was he from Albany? Is that what I'm seeing?
Florida State. I'm not sure which town he's from.
Oh, I just saw something at Albany. Maybe that's who Florida State was playing in the game.
Oh, that could be.
Okay.
So the Steelers are on the clock. Now, where's that? Is that in Detroit too? Or, oh no, it says Rams. That's in Los Angeles. Draft party.
I don't know. I'm behind by 30 seconds, so I have no idea.
Yeah, I gotta say.
That draft party.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah.
I gotta say. I mean, I think the Vikings are. I think the inexperience of Kwesi in that is showing. I don't think that. I don't know. I just think that's a reach.
I just can't believe they gave up that much to move up 6 spots. And
Right.
it's not like it's 6 spots in the top 10. We're
Right.
talking going from 23 to 17. I don't know. They're feeling the heat, I guess, of the Lions and the Packers and the Bears. I don't know. That's
Well,
crazy
that's
to
the thing.
say.
They'll talk about Vikings picks, but they gave up a lot to get those, kind of. And
Yeah.
they're just kind of like so picks.
That reminds me, what was it? Oh, I can't remember what team it was. Was it the Redskins that drafted Ricky Williams out of Texas at the number 1 pick, and they made whatever trade to get up to number 1? They traded like 3
Yeah.
first-round draft picks and the rest of their picks in the entire
Yeah, I
draft that
remember
year.
that.
So that's the only draft pick they made that entire year.
And they're still paying for it. The pick is in for the Steelers.
Oh, there you go. It's the Saints, not the
Saints.
Redskins. There
Yeah, it
you
was
go.
the Saints. You're right.
Yeah. See, Eric's got to always correct me because I'm always wrong, or most of the time I'm wrong. I shouldn't say
Eric's on
always,
top
just
of
most
it.
of the time.
Hey, Eric, just wanted to give you a heads up, and whoever else is on watching, we're going to probably be after this pick. I think we're going to sign off for the night. Just the draft's been going a little slower than we thought, and it's been a little, what do you want to say, lackluster. I mean, other times the first rounds they're going quick and they're really dragging it out for whatever reason.
And I'm getting tired. I'm going to have to record the Lions pick and see it in the morning.
Yeah, you're right. They gave up the mother load, and then Mike Ditka was coaching the Saints when they did that. And then didn't he end up going to Miami at some point, right? Because he had a problem with
Might have
Lee.
been.
Yeah.
I think you're right. I think he was in Miami after that.
Yeah. Of course, now they all smoke weed, I think, and they don't get in trouble for it. So, hey, did you see Reggie Bush is getting the Heisman Trophy back?
Yeah, I did see that. It's interesting.
There's still a lot of people there. They must be waiting for that Detroit draft pick. 275,000 fans in attendance tonight.
275,000.
That's what they're saying. That's
wow.
That seems like a lot. I don't know if it'd be that high. I'm sure they're counting like somehow, but
Wow.
as slow as this draft's going, me and you can go and get there in the crowd yet. Here, Brian.
Get there in time for the Lions pick?
Yeah. Jeez. Yeah, he did. I'm with you. I'm starting to get a little tired myself. We're not used to these long live streams like we did in the fall.
I know.
But the game was exciting and going on. Here there's a lot of downtime, and it's, at 4 picks an hour, it's taking forever. It seems like. I shouldn't say that's 6 an hour, but
well, and usually we had a guest to, keep us going, I guess, make us look better and so forth. So
yeah.
Plus, you may have noticed I've gotten better. I haven't knocked my microphone over the entire night.
It must be the new location.
Yeah.
Hey, you better hold up that helmet one more time.
Oops. Get it nice in the camera here. There we go. Commanders, Redskins, whatever you want to call them.
That's funny. Hey, there's isn't that Sean Merriman that's walking to the stage with Goodell?
I don't know. I'll tell you in like 30 seconds. Right now, they're just showing the fans, the Steelers fans on my screen.
Must have been the man of the year, Walter Payton. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't have to look at my TV.
Cam Hayward. It's
Okay.
Cam Hayward is who it is.
I don't even need to look at my TV. I'll just wait until you tell me what the draft pick is. I'll find out 30 seconds earlier anyway. That way.
Well, I wonder what the Steelers are going to take. They traded their QB too. Who did they end up getting?
They got Wilson and
yeah, that's
Fields
right.
and Justin Fields.
That's right. Troy Fautanu, Washington tackle. So the Steelers took a tackle. Well, I must say, Brian, it's been a lot of fun getting together. It's been a while. It's been too long.
Yeah, definitely.
It's a good time. Good to.
We should do it again, but not quite as long. Like I'm ready to go to bed here.
Yeah, definitely. I was just looking to see what the Vikes traded. Vikings sent the number 23 overall, the 5th round pick, and the 25 3rd and 4th round picks. Wow.
It's crazy, isn't it?
That is just crazy. Not a good move.
6 spots.
Yeah.
And they're more than, at that point, they were more than halfway through the first round.
So they gave up 3 picks to move up 6 spots. I think that's a reach.
Yeah, I mean, those 3rd and 4th round picks can be good picks too. Those can be good quality players.
Yep. That's what adds depth to your team.
Yeah.
So that was a little disappointing, but yep. Well, Brian, I think it's been a good time. We want to thank everybody for watching. Eric, especially, been with us pretty much the whole time. Hate to get out of here, but it is getting late, and the draft is taking forever. Hopefully, your team, the team you like, gets who you want. But it's been a good time, and hopefully, Brian, you get who you want for the Detroit Lions here too. So,
yeah. They might get Mitchell from Toledo. He's still available.
Yeah.
There's only 8 more picks before them, so it might happen.
Yep. It looks like Miami's pick is in too. Yeah, there's still 11 picks to go after this one.
Yeah. Yeah, this is going to take forever. So,
yep. So Eric's calling us slackers. Sorry, Eric.
I got to work early in the morning.
Yep. So, all right. Well, thanks again, everyone, and we'll be in touch and take care. And thanks for hanging out with us for a while. And we'll talk again soon. Any parting words there, Brian?
I guess, just because our topic was getting started on a low carb diet, don't wait for tomorrow, because tomorrow never comes. Tomorrow will still be another day away, right? So just get started, do something to help fix your health and so forth, and heal your body and so forth. Get started right away.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I agree. It's good to get going for sure. All right, everyone. We'll see you again soon. Take care, my friends, and we'll catch you later.
All right. Bye, everybody.